Good evening. Welcome to Poland Daily News with me, Nicholas Richardson. Donald Tusk's government violated the Constitution and the Foreign Service Act. Telewizja Republika learned that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs requested the host country's consent to appoint an ambassador to one European country. This violates the requirement for it to be done with the consent of the president of the country. This was not obtained. The country concerned is probably Italy, where the ambassador is Anna Anders, the daughter of the heroic general from World War II. Has international law and the Polish constitution been violated? Editor Holdinska checked.
The
President's prerogatives regarding the appointment of new ambassadors are regulated by the Polish constitution, laws, and finally international agreements, that is the Vienna Convention, which refer to sending an ambassador to the host country. Has this law been broken? I am checking. We know from sources close to the Chancellery of the President that there was an attempt to appoint an ambassador bypassing the President. Unofficially, it is Richard Schnepf who would replace Ambassador Anna Anders in Italy. This would be a symbolic change. Ambassador Anders is the daughter of World War II General Anders, who, by winning the Battle of Monte Cassino, opened the way for the Allies to finally defeat the Germans and the Soviet forces. She will be replaced by the son of Maximilian Schnepf, a former Soviet army officer who took part in the liquidation of the Polish independence underground after World War II. In July 1945, he was commanding one of the units committing cleansing of the Augustów region of units of the Polish underground army. This also means that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is already implementing the announced plan to recall as many as 50 ambassadors from abroad and appoint new ones. The Prime Minister has exclusive competence to conduct foreign policy. The problem is that this is not true. The head of state plays a key role in appointing ambassadors.
Artykuł 133.
Article 133 of the Constitution states that the ambassador is appointed and dismissed by the President of the Republic of Poland. Apart from the Polish constitution, which stipulates that it is the president who appoints and dismisses ambassadors and specifies that it is the president who accepts the credentials of and recalls ambassadors, the appointment of ambassadors is also regulated between the sending and receiving states by the Vienna Convention of 1961. This states that the head of the mission assumes his functions in the host country when he presents his credentials. Approved by the president, the names of candidates for new ambassadors should also be presented to the same Foreign Affairs Committee. At first, the new government wanted to replace the ambassador to the European Union. President Duda agreed, taking into account that this is a crucial person for EU politics and must work hand in hand with the government. The government also wanted to replace the ambassador to NATO, which created tensions because of the upcoming NATO summit. Replacing a key person a few weeks before an important meeting would not help the work to be done. Meanwhile, the Italians were to inform the presidential palace that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had requested an agreement, i.e. consent to appoint a new ambassador without its knowledge. This is a mistake, tactlessness. It is jeopardizing the international standing of Poland, with such comments that in Poland the parties are fighting each other regardless of the law. Attempts to bypass the procedure known throughout the democratic world ridicule the Polish state. The president has already announced in March that no one would recall any ambassador without his consent. There is no way you can recall an ambassador without my knowledge.
Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that its forces would further fortify the border with Belarus and can use all available means to defend the NATO nation's frontier after a soldier was seriously wounded with a knife by a migrant. Tusk said that a buffer zone some 200 metres wide would be set up along the border, which is also the European Union's eastern frontier, in addition to a 190-kilometre-long metal barrier already in place intended to prevent an influx of migrants crossing from Belarus.
Poland says the pressure of illegal migration is organised by Belarus and Russia. Tusk said the government will make a decision on the buffer zone at its Tuesday session. Tusk, together with the Defence and Interior Ministers, visited troops, border guards and police forces securing the border following a knife attack on a soldier early on Tuesday near the village of Dubice Cerkiewna. Today we have been recommended by those who serve with you here on a daily basis that we restore the buffer zone as soon as possible in this 200-metre wide strip, where it is necessary from the point of view of the effective operation of the services of the Polish state at the border. Officials said the soldier remains in a serious condition. They said a migrant reached across the bars of the more than 5-metre high metal fence separating Poland and Belarus and stabbed the soldier in the ribs. Polish security forces were not able to detain the attacker because he was on Belarus' side of the border, officials said. Polish troops, border guards and officers have become the targets of aggression. You have every right, not to say an obligation, to use every means available to you when you are defending not only the border but also your own life. Tusk and the Defence Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz said that additional police and military units will be sent to the area. The pro-EU government says the pressure and aggression of illegal migration is rising, organised by Russia and Belarus to destabilise Europe as Moscow wages war on Ukraine. Poland's authorities say migrant groups now mainly include young men, compared to families with women and children, as previously. More than 13,000 attempts at illegal crossings were registered so far this year, a rise from the same period last year.
A Czech-led initiative to speed up ammunition deliveries to Ukraine has raised €1.6 billion, with the first deliveries due to arrive in days, Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala said. Ukraine has been urging Western allies to step up military aid to help it repel Russian forces now well into their third year of invasion. The Czechs, through a team of government officials and private companies, have been working to source ammunition from around the world. Poland contributed up to €100 million to this initiative.
Hosting Ukraine's Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal and leaders of some European Union allies in Prague, Fiala said ahead of the meeting that the first deliveries from the initiative, which sources supplies outside the European Union, will be made in June. Ukraine has been urging the Western allies to step up military aid to help it repel Russian forces, now well into the third year of their invasion. The Czechs, through a team of government officials and private companies, have been working to source ammunition from around the world. Fiala said the money raised so far had come from 15 EU and NATO members, without giving details. The talks in Prague also included Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, and Latvian Prime Minister Evika Silina, and Polish President Andrzej Duda. Duda said Poland was ready to help with the transport of ammunition to neighbouring Ukraine as part of the Czech-led drive. Also on Tuesday, the Netherlands said it would deliver parts of a Patriot air defence system to Ukraine and is talking to other countries in order to assemble a complete system.
President Andrzej Duda has vetoed an amendment to the Act on National and Ethnic Minorities, which recognises the Silesian language as a regional language. The president stated that it might create tensions which are undesirable in such difficult times as these.
President Andrzej Duda vetoed the amendment to the Act on National and Ethnic Minorities, which recognises the Silesian language as a regional language. The president stated that it might create tensions which are undesirable in such difficult times as these. Hybrid actions that cannot be ruled out, which may be undertaken in relation to the Republic of Poland related to the war waged beyond the eastern border, require special care to preserve national identity. In particular, cultivating the native language serves to protect the preservation of national identity.
Prime Minister Donald Tusk and his ministers are defending themselves against Telewizja Republika. A journalist from that station and his operator were not allowed to attend the morning meeting with Prime Minister Tusk at the Polish border with Belarus. This is not the first such situation. This time the journalist was told that there was no room for him inside. These are Russian methods.
This is a further incident of this type. During the Prime Minister's visit to the eastern border, the Republika TV crew was not allowed to attend a briefing before the press conference. There were cameras from competing liberal stations. When asked about the reasons, representatives of the Prime Minister's officers replied that there was room for only 3 stations. Meanwhile, Telewizja Republika is one of the most popular news stations. Prime Minister Tusk is afraid of the truth, and that is why he is trying to limit the work opportunities of TV Republika journalists. But we won't let ourselves be silenced. We will not let the truth be shouted down. Donald Tusk's government regularly avoids difficult questions. On the 22nd of January this year, Bartłomiej Sienkiewicz, Minister of Culture and National Heritage, did not allow the TV Republika team to attend a press conference. Please leave. By whose decision is it? Do you have it in writing?
Że Telewizja Republika nie może wejść na konferencję?
I'm calling the security manager. Please leave the building. The Republika TV journalist tried to enter the building several times but was not allowed in. TV Republika was the only station unable to cover the press conference.
Inne stacje.
Other TV stations, at least several dozen journalists and cameramen were allowed in, but we weren't. And this is something extraordinary. This is what this European, smiling Poland of the new government looks like. The Ombudsman intervened in this case, but the situation did not change. The authorities must take into account difficult questions. Donald Tusk thinks in an archaic way. 10 years ago, he had influence on 3 major television stations and they broadcast what he wanted. This is not possible today. Tusk does not understand how free media work. The number of viewers of Telewizja Republika has been growing for months. It is one of the main Polish news stations and is the largest one with Polish capital.
A zoo in the Polish capital Warsaw has welcomed twinned baby black lemurs in a boost for a species that is endangered in its native habitat. The birth of the twins brings the number of black lemurs in Warsaw Zoo to 6. And zookeeper Laura Turadek says that they all have different characters.
Black lemurs are only found in the wild in Madagascar, but deforestation and climate change mean their numbers are dwindling. The birth of the twins brings the number of black lemurs in Warsaw Zoo to 6, and zookeeper Laura Turadek says that they all have different characters. While the older lemurs born last year like to get up to mischief, the babies stay close to their parents and are just starting to explore the world around them. The zoo has launched a competition online for members of the public to choose names for the twins. Our little lemurs were born on the 23rd of March, so a few weeks ago. This is a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. They are unique like most lemurs. They are very critically endangered. Most species are endangered due to forest clearing. The main reason is us humans. This is the third time our couple has had young children. A year ago there were also twins, only 2 girls. Now it's even cooler that it's a boy and a girl. They differ in colour. The boys are black, the girls are brown with white ears. Like all lemurs, they only live in Madagascar, so all the climate change, more typhoons, droughts and forest clearing mean that more and more species are endangered. Fortunately, breeding in captivity is not too complicated. We have young in most species every year. Each has their own character. The male one is very calm and friendly. The female, that is the mother, is possessive, rules everyone and rules our herd with an iron fist. 1-year-olds make trouble like that. There are plenty of them everywhere. They are very curious, they try everything, and the youngest ones, a few weeks old, still stay close to their mother. They're just starting to explore the world and try food.
That's the news. Thank you for watching, and from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.